Okay, we're synced. That was a clap sync. Welcome to BeansTalk. This is a podcast that Beans and I, Ben Appleton, and I are starting, and we're gonna hopefully post it on the St. Joe Square. Beans, would you like to introduce yourself?
Marscola introduced me pretty well. I'm Beans. I'm known throughout the land. But today I'm just being a simple man with a simple dream of having a podcast. And I'd like to ask my glorious producer, Jacob Marscola, to give me something to talk about today.
That was a beautiful intro. So I guess we can talk about why we're making a podcast, or we could tell the story of how we started a podcast, I guess. We actually decided to make this podcast, to actually do it like a couple months ago, I would say. But this has been like since freshman year. It's been in the think tank, and it was a joke up until like 2 months ago in Mr. Reynolds' class, and we were like, we should actually do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a moment of self-actualization, you know. No longer are we just like fabrications of our. Nah, all right, I'm sorry.
If this ends up being a trial run, no one will hear it. But
if it's not a trial run, you guys are forced. You're all being forced to listen to me. That's not true. I can't.
Okay. I've kind of always wanted to do a podcast. I don't know about you. It's been interesting just because it's an interesting thing to me because I don't like being on camera, but I do like talking about stuff, especially with like another person on a podcast, which I always thought that'd be interesting, which doesn't really relate to why we want to do a podcast. I just wanted to always try a podcast. Do you ever have any aspirations of doing a podcast on your own?
Obviously, I do in the play. I'm in the play, and so I do like performing and stuff. And yeah, like there are a lot of cool things about podcasts. The ability to talk, like it's really centered on just raw ideas. And so I do like podcasts, and yeah, I think it'll be cool. And I hope to see if I can be entertaining by just using my voice and stuff.
Yeah. So when we first thought of this idea, I guess the first time we thought of this idea was freshman year at a lunch table, like a couple other guys. I don't remember who else was there, but we were just talking about like, well, what if we did a podcast like at the lunch table? And then we were like, this is a bad idea. Audio would be so bad.
Yeah.
Audio is probably bad right now, but you know, we're doing the best we can.
It's better than lunch table.
It's better than lunch table audio, yeah. But we thought about it, and then it kind of just died away after like middle sophomore year, and then we kind of thought about it. We were like, hey, what if we actually did that podcast we were talking about? And by the way, BeansTalk was not the original name. There was no original name.
Yeah.
I guess BeansTalk is the original name, but we didn't know a name until like 2 months ago. I don't know. I forget who we can credit that namesake to. I guess you could say Liam and Kyle, both of them. I guess Kyle Tupper and Liam Kemp. Shout out to y'all because I can't remember. So one of you guys made the name.
It might have even been me though.
It might not even been one of you, but I'm crediting you anyway. If this is on a YouTube video, and I think the background, if we did post it like I think we are, then the background showing right now should be our BeansTalk background that was created by Kyle Tupper, who is our chief executive artist. So that was it's a cool background. I like it. It's pretty interesting. I don't know if we have the interactive up yet or not. I don't know if it'll just be a still background or that flickering thing that he did.
But I don't know either. Yeah, it depends on how much time Kyle's willing to put into this to help us figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, we're hoping to maybe, I don't know, when this is over, I'm thinking we give it to some underclassmen and we change the background every year. And it stinks that we started this senior year. We're not only going to be able to do it for 1 year, but maybe we'll come back as a guest 1 year.
Oh,
that would be sick. Yeah. Okay. So we started this episode right now, our first episode, not really knowing what we were going to talk about other than why we were doing a podcast. I don't know. I guess you kind of talked about yourself. I'll talk about myself. I play football. My name is Jacob, by the way. I play football. I wrestle. I am not in the play. I will never be in the play, but mad props to Beans. He's a talented actor.
Thank you.
He's wearing his Music Man shirt right now, so
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, so I do those sports. I'm in FBLA, and I want to do a podcast. I'm hoping this is somewhat successful. This is actually, I kind of want to keep doing this, and we really haven't worked out what the logistics are or how we're going to, you know, record, because we're thinking of doing guests, but obviously with COVID, this is tough. Me and Beans are sitting far apart now, so we're good.
Yeah.
No one try to get us in trouble because we're good. We're 6 feet apart. Yeah. So, Beans, you wanna?
All right. Talk about something.
Talk about something.
All right. There are a lot of things going on. I want to talk about what this podcast is going to mean for the St. Joseph community. So I want to, because we're going to have some teachers on. We're going to have some students on, and yeah, I really want to be able to give a voice to a wide range of people. I think that would be very interesting because, yeah, like people in my Spanish class just a little bit ago were talking about how, honestly, thank God for theology classes, because outside of theology classes and art classes, we never get to see the people who aren't in honors classes, and so yeah, it's really cool to be able to because yeah, St. Joe, we're all one family, and so we kind of do get divided a little bit throughout the classes we take and stuff like that. So I hope that in this podcast we can really show every single facet of St. Joe. Yeah, that would be cool.
Well said. Well said. Yeah, we're hoping to bring a variety of guests. We are hoping to be able to bring students and faculty to the table to talk about whatever they want to talk about, or give them some prompts to talk about. We're not sure, but just as a preview to let you guys know, we're thinking of probably having Mr. Reynolds be our first guest, because he was the classroom that this actually manifested in. This actually started to become a thing where we started actually planning it out. So we're thinking of probably doing him for our first guest, maybe asking him how the virtual Zoom musical is going. Actually, no, we can ask you, because Beans is in the Zoom musical that's going this fall or winter. Is it a winter?
It'll be this fall. It's going to be in a couple weeks actually.
So how's that going? Practices and stuff like that.
It's pretty cool. It's doing, yeah. I mean, so yeah, the script is weird because it's just a dumb comedy where they break the fourth wall all the time. But I think that we're doing pretty well putting this together. All of the actors are given pretty crazy performances. Everything, yeah. So I think it'll go well. I think actually AJ doesn't know that much about this production. I think he's not the director this time. It's Sarah Beeson, who helps us with the musicals every year, and so she's the director this time. So yeah, but the play, it'll be interesting. I mean, yeah, show up if you want. We haven't figured out how to sell you tickets yet, but we'll do that.
Cool. So, but Reynolds he's somewhat involved. He has an idea of how it's going. He just he told us in class, I'm not going to be directing this one, but I am going to still try to, be a part of this one in some way. So. He said something he's going to be creative producer or something like that. He was going to be the manager or something like that. He's I'm going to finally be able to do something that that's not, directing the play, which is, he seemed kind of excited about it. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I'll see if I can catch that. It's on Zoom, so really, if you don't have anywhere to be that night, you have no excuse to not see it. Because I know you guys aren't doing anything.
Ouch! The entire population.
The entire population of St. Joe is just not doing anything. Yeah. This chair is just so squeaky.
Yeah, chair's not good.
Yeah. So thinking of some other things that we talked about with the podcast. One thing I think we talked about is I guess with our guests and us, but I guess we have an idea because we're doing the podcast, so we have an idea how to censor ourselves to just, avoid saying certain things or mentioning certain things. Just, trying to be able to screen our guests. Obviously, teachers will probably have no problem with that, but if we want to bring some students on, I don't know, just a quick little thing that's like, hey, don't curse and don't talk about controversial stuff unless we ask you to. Because, we're thinking about maybe talking about, we're hoping, even though the election just happened, or I don't know if it just happened, depending on when this is released, it happened. We're thinking of maybe bringing owner on, or maybe Kyle Feldkamp, and ask him, what's your, not what's your views, but what do you think about the election, or how do you feel about politics right now? And he'll probably, both of them will probably be talking about stuff that we just have absolutely no idea about, and we'll just be like, good job, yeah, that's nice.
I hope so. I mean,
I don't want to read off like too many of the guest lists, because we actually have some idea of who we want to bring as guests, but obviously if you feel you have something interesting to say and you want to contact me or Beans, I don't know if they will contact us at our email or the BeansTalk email, because we have a BeansTalk email, because we need that to set up a YouTube channel to post these podcasts on. But until then, just contact me or Beans if you want to be on, and we'll see if we can fit you in. Obviously, with our list right now, it's going to be a while till we're able to just take requests from people to be guests. But we have an idea of what we kind of, or the people that we kind of want to bring on. But anyone that still wants to come on definitely can. It's like Bean said, we want to bring kind of a voice to anyone that wants to talk about something, or just come on and crack jokes, make us laugh. There's going to be a lot of Beans laughing in this podcast.
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of just blasting your ears with Beans laughing, because I'm sure when we bring someone else on, like, I don't know, just someone's going to make him just laugh for like 5 minutes straight. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Kendrick Lamar, just the way he says, and when I get behind the mic, I don't know what energy I'm going to push out. That's how I feel right now.
You don't know what energy you're going to push out.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's how I feel too. I don't know what energy he's going to push out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of I have no clue what's going to happen in this. I don't know how long this will go. I guess, like I mentioned before, I guess we'll do this until the end of the year.
Yeah.
We want to have a schedule, but we're both very busy. We want to have like a routine and have like, be, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent. We want to be consistent with what we release, in terms of like how far apart they are. But it's tough because, Beans is in the play and musical and all that. Football's over for me, but I'm in wrestling right now. I have some FBLA stuff. We're going to try to be as consistent as we can, though. But, yeah. Or no one listens to this and we're just talking to no one and no one cares that we're off schedule.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if, like, people stick around, if people would be still listening.
Yeah. Because, I'm on news and broadcasting, and, we run the website. And I've looked at the website, and I've looked at, like, the views that some of the articles get. And obviously, if something unique or something new pops out, people will definitely click on it. It's just a matter of how many return clicks are we going to have. How many, there's another word for that I can't think of right now. It's like what, like businesses have, like, people that return to, there's a word, and everyone's laughing at me right now because I can't think of it. There's definitely a few people that are just, like, screaming at the screen.
Oh my gosh, now I'm thinking.
I'm trying to think about it. Beans, would you like to just talk to them while I look up that word?
So, at Martin's, I work at Martin's. That's another thing about me. Come get me fired. It'd be a grand old time. That's my new thing, is that I'm trying to find a fun way to get fired from Martin's. But anyways.
You're trying to get out of Martin's?
Nah, Martin's is pretty cool. And I do need money so that I'm not going into college and then being broke. But at the same time, like, it would be cool to just find a really fun way to get fired. Like,
I guess, yeah.
I've been brainstorming ideas with people. It's been a grand old time. If you have any ideas for how I could get fired, email me.
Retention rate.
Retention rate.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
That's it, yeah. So we're hoping our retention rate is high
It's
because
satisfactory.
it's satisfactory for us. So we don't have an idea still how long these are going to be. We're at like 15 minutes now. I mean, we've talked for a while. I kind of, at least I think Beans definitely prides himself on just talking about stuff nonstop for a while. It'll obviously be a little easier to when guests come on. We don't know how long we're gonna be recording these. The length of each episode of the podcast. I don't know. I was thinking somewhere around 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what my computer or his computer can render. Yeah. So it'll be interesting and fun with guests coming on. I think we'll have them talk about themselves for a little bit in case anyone doesn't know. Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't meet Mr. Reynolds until I had his class this year. So yeah. Although I do remember freshman year. Did you come to like the? It wasn't a visit day. It was like the come to a classroom and be like go to school at St. Joe for a day or something.
I don't think I did that. I mean, I did the.
We're both seniors, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've mentioned it. Yeah.
But I remember the 8th grade visit day. Is that what you're talking about?
It might no, because what it was is I went there and there were no high school students there. It was like a couple weeks before high school was gonna start, so I was already like doing football, like freshman football.
Yeah, I don't think I did this.
Yeah, no. So it was. So what it was is we came to the school and we basically sat. I don't think we went from classroom to classroom. We sat in like one classroom and they basically told us a lot about the classes and we did activities with certain teachers, and yeah, we did that. I think. Well, hold on. So now I'm thinking. So we did this, but what I'm trying to allude to, it may be the 8th grade visit day. So there was that thing that I had like a couple weeks, and then 8th grade visit day we came and like the teachers would do activities. You would go to like 4 classes or something. Yeah. And I remember, freshman year I went into McCarthy's classroom and him and Reynolds are there, and I don't know what we did, but we did a thing, and it was cool, I guess.
I remember we made some goodies in some German class.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's literally all I remember from 8th grade visit day.
Yeah, so I guess 8th grade visit day is what I was thinking of. But the other thing was kind of interesting. It was, I mean, it kind of sucks. I had to go to school for like a whole day and then go to football practice, which is what I usually do. But I had never been to high school, so I was like, this is going to suck. And it wasn't that bad. Yesterday was fun. Yesterday was my first wrestling practice of the season, and it was Did you have
Coach Norm?
Yeah, Norm was there. Norm was there.
My hero.
Yeah.
Respect from back.
Actually, I don't want to. I guess I'll put this on the podcast. Yesterday, we finished practice, and then he told us to get on the wall, and like he was going to talk to us. He told us he had throat cancer. He's got throat cancer, but Norm. Norm was like acting like it was a scab on his arm. I mean, I don't know, because so like tomorrow or today, I guess today Tuesday, November 10th is his last practice. He can come here, and then he's gonna be on a bunch of crap for his throat cancer. So, on that depressing note, I'm gonna continue. Yeah. So yesterday was my first wrestling practice of the season. It was my second year wrestling, and I was gassed. I was so gassed. Like, that conditioning is crazy. But I was so tired. I'm out of shape for wrestling. I need to get back into shape.
Yeah, this is Marscola coming off of a football season, saying that he's out of shape. That's how much wrestling requires of you.
Wrestling requires a lot, and with football, in the summer, we condition, and then in the season you can't condition as much, but you're still conditioned because you're playing games every Friday. But I definitely need to get back into shape for that because it's a lot, and especially because it's such a it's a small room and it's not heavily insulated, but it's kind of hot in there. And also our head coach, Coach Will, is making us wear sweatpants and sweatshirts to get us to sweat and to get some weight down during practice. But yeah, I don't know what weight class I'll be this year. I'm like 187 right now. Yeah. So yeah. Beans, you do anything besides theater? don't think you do, right?
Yeah, so once I started work, I kind of like stopped doing everything else. So I used to run cross country,
That's right, yeah.
and that was a good time. Running. I don't know. I guess nobody else, not nobody, but a lot of people outside of cross country just don't like running. I can understand why, but I think that just being outside and being able to just like be in nature and running, I think that's very fun.
Yeah, I understand that. I don't like running at all. I don't think I would do cross country though. I think I would consider cross country more than I would track, and here's why. Because with track, I think really just specific to the running. With the running, and it's a lot more distance in cross country, and you don't have to like sprint. But obviously, it's endurance. I think I'm good at endurance. I don't think I'm a good sprinter or anything, or like a good racer. I think I'd be decent at like just running long distance. But it's too late now. So
Yeah, I mean it's never too late. You can always like my uncle. He just runs a ton just to like I guess just because he runs, just because he likes to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't have to be in cross country to run. I think that it's a great healthy thing. Like whenever people are like, get healthy, like they're like do cardio. Cardio is the most important thing, and running is good cardio.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm super fast. I don't know. It's been a while since I've run a 40 because we used to run 40s in the summer for football. Last time I measured it, I think it was under 5. It was under 5 seconds. What would you say your 40 is probably? What do you think it is?
I don't know. Probably.
Have you ever measured your 40?
I don't think I ever have.
You ever timed your 40?
Nah.
Oh.
I mean, but if I had to guess, it's not good. It's.
Well, what's not good?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I've never run a 40. Like that's the.
Like last time I measured, I was like a 4.87. And you're probably faster than me. Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean.
Yeah. Like it's even been a long time since I've run cross country, so I'm probably pretty out of shape. I would probably run an abysmal 5K. It would not be good.
McCarthy would be shaking his head.
Yeah.
He would be so disappointed.
He would be disappointed.
Yeah. I guess we could. I don't know. I mean, we've talked about a lot, and we're like 22 minutes in, man.
Yeah, because we don't have anything that we're going in depth with right now.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have ideas related to certain people that we are going to bring on the show, and that'll obviously, fill up a lot of time. We're trying to just, we're going on the fly right now, just because, if this airs, we're not sure if it will, but if it airs, then it was going to be a trial run. It's not a trial run. And if it is a trial run, hi Ben, hi Jacob, thanks for listening to this trial run and shaking your head the whole way.
Oh dang.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what you're talking about.
What's your favorite class?
Favorite class right now?
Yeah.
Or that I've taken?
Of all of the classes.
All the classes, I guess, that I've taken. I guess I mean the class that I have most fun in. Honestly, I think my favorite class was with Foster sophomore year.
Foster.
English 10 honors. Foster was cool. Did you ever have Foster?
I didn't have Foster.
You did not?
I did.
Oh, you did. That's right. Wait, yeah, you were.
Was I in your class?
I can't remember if you were in my class.
I feel like we were period 7, but
no,
that's not.
I was period 6.
Everyone was jealous of period 7 because.
Why?
Because they were his favorite.
No, period 6 is what you're thinking of. Period 6 was his favorite.
True?
He always told us that just as a joke, and he always said that he told the other classes as a joke, so, it might have been true. Yeah.
All right.
So, but that was a fun class. I thought it was cool. I think that was my favorite class just because it was Foster. Foster was cool.
Yeah, cool guy.
Yeah. I don't know, where is he right now? I heard he's at, Washington. He's teaching at Washington. But he still coached girls soccer this year for St. Joe.
Oh, I didn't know.
Just not as much as he could have, because he's got a family now. He's got a kid.
He's a family man.
He's a family man. He's a dad. He's what everyone would always say, like, dude, you should just be a dad. Now he's finally a dad.
People said that? I don't remember.
Yeah, people said that. This chair.
Yeah, you gotta look.
Beans, you wanna talk to the audience real quick while I get into the chair?
All right. So yeah, this often happens where I'm left alone to my thoughts and feelings. So today I'm gonna talk to you about Flipgrid. Flipnote. Remember that from the DS? Remember
I
Flip
think
Note?
so.
Where what a funny thing to exist, and I'm so sad that it's gone. Like
It's
that
gone?
was peak internet.
I mean, it's not gone. It's just that no one.
Yeah, nobody uses it anymore.
I mean, it's not in the new DSs. I don't think.
Yeah, it's not in the new DS.
They got rid of it.
Yeah, that was cool. There would, what else you got? Do you remember that? Do you remember growing up?
No, yeah, I remember that. There was a bunch of like funny. Honestly, that was like the Vine before Vine.
Yeah.
Because people would make cool,
Lucky.
funny animations.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
It was like Vine, but yeah, everything was animated.
Yeah, everything was
kind of
animated,
impressive
but it
to
was
me.
like really bad animation, except for those that like tried so hard.
Yeah, there were the stick figure like giant battles.
Yeah, there was those. There was one.
The
What's the song that goes like I walk a lonely road?
Oh my god.
There was the one where like
is that by Green Day?
I think so.
That's the most 2000s thing of all time.
But they would play that song and then they would it was like I remember it was like a video of like a stick man just like driving a car and he was like I walk a lonely road and then he like fell off a cliff and that was the end of the video.
Oh my god.
There were some good ones and was it called Flip Note? It was called Flip Note, right?
I think so.
Yeah, those were cool.
Those were cool. And I like the little frog. That was the little
Yeah.
What was the decision? I want to know, Nintendo, why did you choose a little orange
why'd you get
frog?
Yeah.
That's such like a strong move, like
Yeah.
because they have all of these known characters, and usually you want to just.
But you chose an orange. You know, I have no clue, but it definitely I remember it. It's in my head. I mean, I can pull it up right now, and I'm like, yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Those of you listening, you definitely know what we're talking about.
Yeah. I wonder how many people who are listening.
Like actually had, because I wouldn't be surprised if because our generation had DS. Or not our generation, I guess our class had DS, and obviously maybe the junior class did, but there could be some freshmen that just were like too young, or their parents just didn't give them one because they were too young. I mean, there could be some freshmen that are listening right now that have no clue what we're talking about.
I mean, there obviously could be some seniors.
Some seniors that have no clue what we're talking about. I know some people that like never had a Wii. Did you ever have a Wii?
I had a Wii.
You had a Wii?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and honestly, you missed out, but you also didn't miss out with the Wii because it's like some memories, but it's definitely obsolete now. It's like, but
they
somehow
finally stopped selling it. Like
they stopped selling everything. And
Just Dance ran till like 2018 or something on the Wii.
Well, no, so the Wii, but the Wii U is still, there was like a new version of the Wii called the Wii U, so that's out.
But that's also they've stopped making games for that too.
Yeah, I think
Wii
that's all. That's all.
Lifespan of like any console.
Wii lasted a long time.
Yeah.
The Wii U was like everyone was hyped for 3 months after Christmas, and then that was it.
Yeah, Wii U did not have a good run.
I guess you could say the Nintendo Switch is like the new Wii.
Yeah, it's the next, but it's also replacing like the
DS,
the handhelds.
The handhelds, yeah.
Yeah, it's like insane.
Yeah, they kind of merged it in a way because there's a Nintendo Switch, but it's also kind of like a Wii. I mean, I remember a couple months ago, it was during quarantine, and during quarantine I just decided, I'm just gonna like try some new or old games, and I fired up the Wii for like the first time in a while, and I started playing like Beatles Rock Band on like I like playing the guitar on that. It's pretty cool, and the drums too. But I wanted to there used to be an option where you could download songs on any kind of Rock Band, but I wanted to download some other Beatles songs on the Rock Band, and it said that you could download songs, but you had to connect to the Nintendo servers, and the Nintendo servers for the Wii are just straight up gone.
Mm-hmm.
They're just gone. Like it no longer exists, so you can't even connect to the servers to download more songs. But I'm disappointed because we didn't know that was an option when me and my family used to play that game, when it was actually the servers were still up, so we could have easily downloaded like all sorts of songs that aren't on there. Like there's so many good songs that just aren't on there, but some of them I guess wouldn't work with Rock Band. Like one day my mom was like, "Why isn't Long and Winding Road on there?" I was like, "That wouldn't work with Rock Band."
I don't know if I know Long and Winding Road.
Oh, you don't know that one? Are you big with Beatles or not really?
Not too big with the Beatles, no.
No, not too big with the Beatles.
But I remember we did download songs on Rock Band.
Yeah, on Rock Band.
We downloaded Tom Sawyer. I remember that.
Tom Sawyer. By who?
By Rush.
Oh, by Rush.
Yeah.
That's an old song.
Rock Band low-key had like an amazing selection of songs.
Yeah, any rock band too. But like I only have 2 rock bands because I wasn't a big rock band person. But like when I would invite some friends over when I was a kid or a younger kid, I would be like, "What do you guys want to do?" And it's like, "Well, rock band's cool." But I didn't want to just buy any rock band, so I wanted to buy rock band that I liked. So my family and I bought Beatles Rock Band, and then I bought Lego Rock Band, which was you would think, oh, it's like Lego songs. No, it's just a bunch of like 80s. 70s, so some early 2000s and 90s songs in there, but it's just like old nostalgic songs. But it may not be nostalgic because I think it was made when it was made in like 2005 or something like that. But it's fun. But even that, you can't download songs there anymore just because the servers for Wii to download stuff it's gone, which kind of sucks.
Which is kind of a big problem with consoles that people are facing where. Like, if you have a classic video game or if you want to just go back and play some video games from a while ago, then we got a dwindling population of games. It's like, that doesn't happen much with other pieces of art, like with books, with music and stuff like that. That's kind of, like, gone by the wayside. But with video games, it's still really prevalent where they just disappear. And, yeah, it's kind of, like, tough to have that happen.
Yeah, it sucks, especially when you, like, had some of those games. Or books, or you read some of those books and stuff like that. It stinks that can happen. Just because I still have. Did you ever have a DS?
Yeah.
You had. So do you still have it? Do you know where it is?
I know that I have a 3DS still somewhere, but I don't know if I have still that original DS Lite. I think it was a DS Lite. We did have an original DS for a little bit, but that was like. Yeah, but I think the DS Lite, I might be able to find it if I look hard enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I just took you on this huge.
That was nice. Yeah, that was. Yeah. We filled up like a good. I don't know how long. They can tell from home how long that was. I don't know. I mean, we can talk about some more stuff. We're again, like I mentioned before, we are not sure how long these podcasts are going to end up doing. It's probably going to mimic what this is going to be. Unless, we can go longer with other guests. Because right now we're filming, or not filming. I film a lot, so I'm not filming right now. Right now we're recording in Flex. And obviously, if we're thinking about interviewing and having teachers come on, especially teachers, it's going to be tough because teachers have their Flex classes. So we're still trying to figure out, are we going to just record after school, but really we can't because I have wrestling because Beans has the play, but the play's over soon, but even then I'll still have wrestling, so it could just be a day where I take off or something.
Yeah, I could try to take off work.
Yeah, also Beans has work. That's like the biggest thing. When we started this, I was like, we got so much time, we're good, and he was like, dude, I have work. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's at Martin's. What they do is that you're a bagger and you don't work that much, but all of a sudden they train you to be a cashier, and they just schedule you as much as they can. And especially since right now, like whenever somebody asks off, they need like a full 2 weeks because of COVID, and so they'll have like a ton of slots that they need to fill. I always feel bad for my manager. Because they're always like, can you please come in?
and Beans doesn't say no.
Yeah, usually I say yes whenever I can. But sometimes I'll be like, I got homework, I gotta do this.
Yeah, that's a tough. Did you just like want to get a job, or you gotta?
Yeah, it was kind of like, looking at the future and being like, I don't want to be taking on the world just. Without anything.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely. I mean, I feel like at least I feel like I don't have to get a job, especially like there's some people that have to get jobs in high school, which kind of sucks, but also it gives you some good experience. But I feel like I'm fortunate enough to not have to get a job, but I still want a job. But my schedule is just it's packed, and getting a job, it'd have to be, like super flexible. It would have to be, like I'll come in whenever I can, but whenever I'm not, it may be like a month until I come back, but I'll be back. So, you know, um,
So straight up, like what people keep on telling me is like the best job is ninja golf. If you can get in there.
I've heard that. I've heard ninja golf is like
Because
great because yeah, you don't have to. I mean, it's not. I guess it's
they're
not
pretty
the.
chill with
They're
it.
pretty chill with you, and then also it doesn't seem like it's that like that much effort. I mean,
Yeah.
it feels like it wouldn't be because I've been to ninja golf. When I went, there was one guy at the counter. That was it. There was one guy at the counter.
Yeah.
That was it.
So the thing with ninja golf, I know a little bit more, is that I think they found the way to do it is that they just hire a bunch of high school kids so that they don't have to like pay them like full time work employee money.
Yeah.
And then and it is like really easy to keep up with this stuff. I just like sat there and like talked to my cousin as she worked for like I don't know like an hour or two. And so yeah, but ninja golf seems like the place, but also it can only employ so many people. So I don't know.
That would be
if
cool.
that's-
I would love to get a job there just because,
Yeah.
like, I'm sure they're flexible. Isn't it run by a St. Joe
Yeah.
family?
So it's run by a St. Joe family. It's run by
I can't remember.
I know who it is. I know because I ran cross country with their daughter Olivia Miller. And so wait, yeah, is that
But
the
so
people?
wouldn't it be the Millers?
Yeah, the Millers. I'm pretty sure that's them.
If it's not, we're sorry.
Yeah, if
whoever.
it's not, I'm
If it's
pretty sure
not-
that's the person people running it.
Yeah,
But I could be wrong because I have a dumb memory.
yeah.
And that'd be so funny if I just name dropped someone and was like, yeah, this person.
You just said like you just said someone random like Tupper
I mean-
Tupper does it.
They don't even. I guess they have family going to St. Joe still. So whatever. Tupper does what?
No, I was just saying it'd be funny if you just like said someone random like, oh yeah, the Tuppers, they run ninja golf.
Yeah.
The Tuppers running ninja golf.
Oh, that'd be great.
And then you get there and it's just not the Tuppers. It's just not the Tuppers.
Oh man. Yeah. What is it?
That's weird to say, the Tuppers, because
The Tuppers?
I don't call him
yeah,
Kyle.
it sounds weird.
I don't call him Kyle. It's like sounding like it's just a bunch of clones of Tup.
Just a giant army of
Giant army of Kyles.
Dude, how many soccer games do you think we'd win?
Dude, that would be sick. No, we wouldn't win any because they would all just congregate to the goal.
Yeah, they don't. We just have 11 guys just standing on
The goal, and then so the other team wouldn't score ever, but we would never score either.
Dude, Kyle Tupper is a legendary figure with the Christ the King crowd.
Really? Is he?
Well,
tell me
just
a little bit about it. I didn't go to Christ the King.
Just because of it's not that glamorous of a pass for Kyle, so I don't know if I should be talking
What?
about it.
We'll wait.
It's not like really bad, but
We'll wait for.
we'll talk to Kyle.
We'll
about
talk to
it.
Kyle about it when he comes on if he wants to come on. Yeah. So that's interesting. I didn't go to Christ the King. I went to Mishawaka Catholic, and at the moment there was only one other person in the school that went to Mishawaka Catholic. Johnny, how you doing?
Johnny Advances?
Yeah, Avances went to
Whoa,
Mishawaka
what a
Catholic,
guy.
and then Zach Bryan went to
did
Mishawaka
his-
Catholic, and he's a Marian now.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Mishawaka in the senior class. Because
Yeah.
then
Is there-
Steven Advances?
Yeah, Steven. I'm sure when I got here, there was only two other people that went to Mishawaka Catholic. I don't know if there's people there. I didn't really know the underclassmen at Mishawaka Catholic that much. I didn't know the 7th or 6th graders that much because I was there for like a year and a half. Because I moved here like the day after Christmas in 2015. Like
20?
literally on Christmas.
All right, wait, yeah, let's talk about that moving.
Yeah, we could talk about that. So on Christmas, we did some presents, and then like we sat there for a minute and we said, okay, so are we moving today? We said, yeah. So we were already in the process. We had a bunch of boxes already, but we were going to drive the van ourselves, and we ended up doing that. But we had still a lot to do that day, and after we did some presents and stuff, we were like, you know what? Let's move. And then we just decided to pack a bunch of stuff. At some point during that day, like we all got really frustrated because it was just so much. And we were like, you know what? We're not moving today. We'll move tomorrow. And then we actually, got like a second wind. And then we packed everything up. We left the house, which was really weird because like we were literally sleeping in that house that day, and then we moved to that day, which was really interesting. Any other time we moved, it was like a moving company that helped us, but we were moving. We drove the van. I think it was like it must have been like 7 p.m. on Christmas day, evening or whatever, Christmas evening, and we we drove, I think, up until it may have been 2 days after Christmas, but I don't know because it didn't take us that long. We might have gotten to the house that we were renting here.
All right, wait, just
what?
So you're from Texas, right?
I'm from Texas, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't mention that. Yeah, we drove from Texas to Indiana just because we didn't want to like pay for a moving company to haul all our stuff all the way to Indiana, but it wasn't that bad driving the. Well, we didn't drive a truck. We pulled a trailer in our car. So yeah, so from Texas went all the way to Indiana. I think we got there the day after Christmas. And we got there and then we all just crashed on the wherever. We didn't even know where our rooms were. The only person that had seen this house that we were moving to was my mom. And she was like, "It's gonna be great." We were like, "Okay, cool. We don't get a choice anyway. We're moving here, so yeah." But we had been to Indiana before, like many times. We liked it for various things like Notre Dame. We liked it because it snowed, because it didn't snow in Texas. It snowed like 3 times since I lived there. And yeah, so we moved here. I think. So it was in the middle of obviously winter break, and I moved to a different school in the middle of the 7th grade year. So that was not fun trying to adjust to that. It was really weird. The first day was literally I was just like, I'm just not gonna talk to anyone. I'm just gonna have my time, and it was really weird because the new kid is such a fascination to students for some reason. Why is that a thing? Why is that such a fascination?
I don't know. I remember. I just remember Recess right now because I've never been the new kid, but
yeah.
The cartoon Recess where.
No, I've never seen Recess.
Oh dang! Recess is a good show. All right, but anyways, yeah. So Gus was the new kid, and so everyone just decides to bully him. But then like they help him stand up for himself, and then he's like, "I'm not the new kid.
I'm not the new kid.
I'm Gus."
But you're still the new kid.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, well, what is it like compared to that?
I've been the new kid a couple times because we've moved actually a significant amount of times. I moved in terms of schools, different schools that I've been to, not houses, because I've moved to different houses in the same city. Let's see, I lived in Brownsville for a portion of my like toddler years.
Like New York?
No, Brownsville, Texas, like right by the border. Right by the border, we used to like get like authentic Mexican food like all the time. It was cool. I moved from there into where did into some other school. I don't remember what it was called. That was like I don't know what grades that was. And then I moved into another school in the same city. I don't know why. I'm not sure. And I was there from 2nd to 4th grade, and then that was the end of that school. You had to go to a different school after 4th grade, but we were moving anyway. That was from Dallas to Houston, and then Dallas to Houston, I moved into the first Catholic school I ever went to. So that wasn't that weird of a move. I went there, the beginning of the year, so at least there were some other new kids there. And then from there, that's when I moved to here. In the middle of 7th grade year, moved here, and then I'm in high school now. Yeah.
So were there like a bunch of different like cultures and stuff that you were exposed to in that span of time?
A little bit. Obviously, schools are different. It was really interesting to see the demographics of different schools. The school that I went to, the school that I said was my first Catholic private school, that had like a bunch of Asian people. Because I think that area of like Houston, it was a bunch of the Asian demographic was obviously it was huge, and then there was actually a lot of Hispanic people there too. I don't know why it just was like that, and because there was a lot of people. There was like 12 people that had the last name Nguyen. Like I don't know how to spell it. But you know what I'm talking about? That
I know what you're talking
Nguyen. I think so. But there was a lot of people that had that last name. So I had to actually get to know their first name. I couldn't just say their last name.
Yeah, that's how Marscola works. He just knows everyone's last
I
name.
just know everyone's last name unless I have to know your first name.
Yeah.
Because really, I don't.
Last names are cooler. Like, look.
Last names are cooler unless it's just like. No, even if it's like a regular name.
Yeah.
It still is like it still is cooler to like if it's. I don't want to say a name because there's definitely people in this school that have like basic last names, and I don't want to say like, you know what, we know him, so I'm gonna call him out.
Imagine getting dissed for your name.
I'm not calling you out here, Kyle, but Kyle, no, I'm your last name obviously is just like such a normal basic name, but even that's cooler to call him Smith. Just like, hey, Smith.
Smith
or Mr. Smith, like, well, not Mr. Smith,
yeah.
but like saying something like that instead of being like, hey, Kyle, because I don't think the Kyles that I know in the school, I don't think I've called any of them Kyle, unless like I've called him Kyle, but I don't call them Kyle.
I definitely call Kyle Smith Kyle.
I call Kyle Smith. You know, I do call him Kyle, but sometimes I will call him Smith just because like I call him Smith. But I don't call him Smith a lot because I call Zach Smitty a lot, something like that. So if you have like the same last name, I'll probably call you the first name if I met the other person first. Yeah, I mean, but I call Tupper Tup. I don't know Felkamp that well, so I think I just call him Kyle anytime I see him. So I don't know.
Though he does have a great last name.
Yeah, Felkamp. That's a cool last name, man.
Yeah.
I don't. There's other Kyles, right? Actually, no. Kyle. I don't know his last name. The other Kyle that's in our macro.
Oh, the other Kyle that's in our macro.
Yeah.
Kyle Fernandez.
Kyle Fernandez.
Yeah.
What's up, Kyle? I've been in so many of your classes and I've never known your last name. I've low key had him in like a lot of classes in the past 2 years, which is really strange.
I haven't had him much. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really. I don't. Yeah. It's weird who you have classes with. Like, there are some people who I'm just like... I
definitely think there's like 5 people in our class that I've never met and don't know the names of. There's definitely some. Huh?
In our macro class? There might be. I don't know.
There's not a lot of new people in the macro class for me. Yeah. There's not a lot.
Yeah.
This year, there's definitely, I think, it's a little different. Especially because of tracks. The track A and track B and track C thing.
I miss you all on track B.
Yeah, anyone listening from track B, I don't think I'll ever see you again.
Or track C.
Or track C, yeah, where y'all been?
Yeah.
Y'all just never see anyone, like, ever.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit more about that. That's like what we're going to try to talk about with Mr. Reynolds coming in, because...
Should we find a way to get, like, online people on?
That'd be interesting. We could do that with, like, anyone that's online, which actually there probably is a decent amount of people. No, I can already see there's one person. TJ's online, and we have him listed as a preferred guest. So we'll do like we'll Zoom you, so you can talk. Yeah. I mean, the audio will be bad, but you know everything is you
gotta do something.
Everything is set quality here at BeansTalk. It's definitely not going to be high production value.
But yeah, if we're going to make a podcast and it's going to be low audio quality, that's just how it's going to be.
All that matters is the content.
Yeah.
The content needs to be top-notch.
Top-notch content. We're bringing you the best of the best.
It's probably going to be a little different when we have guests. Our idea when we were talking about this podcast was that Beans was going to be like, obviously because it's called BeansTalk, so Beans is the star of this podcast in a way.
I've kind of been interviewing you this.
Yeah, that's what it feels. It's like we've been just talking to each other, which is what a podcast is. But I'm more or less the moderator. But since we don't have another guest right now,
I'll be like, Jacob, pull up that picture of.
Yeah. Since we don't have a guest right now, really, we have to be talking like we're just 2 people talking. When there's guests, I'm sure I'll be more of. I won't talk as much because I'm really the moderator. Like you said, I'm the creative producer or the executive producer or whatever.
That's kind of what I call it.
And Beans is like we have this is kind of cringe. We made like a list of things about BeansTalk and we put like equipment that we need, mics, audio software, a computer, maybe a keyboard, but then we also have like Jacob moderator in Beans' personality in length to be determined. Maybe 45 to 90 minutes. It's not going to be 90 minutes
So you
this
can't
time,
see.
by the way. What?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely not going to be that long. I don't know how long it's been.
We could probably go in an hour. Just because I want some time to be able to see if the audio actually recorded. If you were listening to this right now, it did. We're at like 49 right now.
Yeah. The interesting thing about this podcast is to see how heavily reliant it is on guests. Like, if we get one person and people freak out and come.
Yeah, we could do recurring guests, but because there's so many people at St. Joe and people that may actually want to be on, we're going to try not to do that as much. We may just do teachers for recurring guests because teachers are like widely liked. But if it's by like a lot of people, but if it's like a student, we may try to avoid that just so we don't prioritize one student over others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also I have here on this list that we made, it says background, created by Kyle Tupper, Chief Executive Artist. Thank you, Kyle, for that amazing background. It looks really cool. I had to, so he sent it to me, and it was like it was a GIF, but on the Mac it won't do GIFs, so it was literally just like, it was like 16 photos of the different shades to make it flicker, because that's how he did it.
I know, that happens to me all the time. I need some water, though.
You need...
Yeah.
You want to...
I got that draft.
You got water?
It's outside the door. I mean, can we have door audio? That'd be fine.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Beans is going to leave us for a minute. Can you actually grab my water bottle, too?
All right.
It's like on my backpack. Thanks, bud. Hey, guys. Beans is gone. This is going to be a very interesting experiment that we got going here, because we really don't have an idea of how good it's going to be, because we figured, at least I figured, with Beans' like random and hilarious personality that he has, at least with some people that I've noticed. I've noticed that Beans, who is back with my water bottle, brings the more personality to this probably. But also it's like a cringy podcast with two guys that are seniors and trying to just get through the last year of high school. So.
Yeah,
it may
surviving high school.
It may be widely liked. It may not.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see its reception. I mean, yeah, we're kind of banking on the website being able to pull in a lot of.
Yeah, that's really the website's the only reason that we actually considered this to be a thing, because we never. I mean, I don't know. I know podcasts like put their stuff on SoundCloud, but. We're probably just gonna try to do the website for a while, and then I don't know if it's liked, then we may stick some episodes on SoundCloud. But the only reason that we decided to actually do this is because the website, the Square, is up, which is kind of cool that they decided to do that this year. It's cool to run it too. I'm in news and broadcasting. It's cool to be able to post articles and stuff on there. I just posted a new article today.
Ooh.
That was. It was English teachers and what they recommend for like pleasure reading. It was interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
Check that out.
Yeah, I've had no time to do a lot of stuff that I want to do. The Square's up there, but like, I don't know. Even coming off the heels of college applications, now I just got a ton of stuff that I put on the back burner, and then I have to apply to more colleges eventually. It's been a crazy senior year.
It's been a very interesting senior year. I definitely agree with that. It's. Bean, do you mind to keep talking? I'm looking for something now.
What can I talk about? Yeah, preparing for college is one of the most terrifying things you can ever do, but it's also like exciting. Like every single time I get too overwhelmed with school, I get too overwhelmed with this stuff. I just think about like how much of a like privilege and a gift it is to be able to be in this situation where I'm thinking about what I'm going to do for college, and where I'm like thinking about how I'm going to get all this homework done. Like throughout the centuries and throughout the world, there aren't a lot of people who've really had this kind of opportunity to really take this much control of their lives. And so, yeah, I'm pretty happy about the life I've got. Pretty cool. And yeah.
I found what I was looking for. I was going to, so being a part of the website, I am able to look at like the most viewed stories that we have. At the moment, the person that holds the most viewed story is Kyle Feldkamp. His article, "Making Our Voices Heard," telling the students, how important it is for us to vote. This was posted October 28th, 2020. So it's a little, it's like dated. So it may lose its throne, but at the moment it's like 202 views, and the next one is like 144.
Wow! So you blew him out the water.
Yeah, it blew it out the water. When we finally released it, obviously, the first, like, whatever's like on the front of the website, kind of gets seen first, and then people actually start to look at different stories. So you start to see what people are actually interested in listening or reading.
Yeah. We do have probably like 5 minutes left.
We have about 5 minutes left. We are going to. I want to do this to an hour, but then as soon as this is done, we gotta. Well, we have passes, so we can stay in here until Flex is.
Although I do have lunch right after Flex.
You do have lunch, but you're a little. You'd like to leave then, but.
All right, I can stay.
I know. I just want to make sure the audio is actually recording, because we've talked for a lot. So if you are not hearing this right now, it got lost.
If you are not hearing this,
it got lost, and you don't know that because you're not hearing it.
Yeah, that'd be so tough.
It would, but
I don't know what we do. I'd honestly buy a USB at this point because I feel this committed.
Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions to
help record.
Well, recording like this is fine. At the moment, we're recording on a snowball mic. We're not even sure if it's connected or if it's actually recording on this QuickTime Player audio.
Yeah.
We don't care as much about the audio quality. We really just want to be able to talk for an hour.
Yeah. That's the more important part.
And also be able to figure out, like we said before, how we're going to schedule some teachers that are going to be guests. That'll be. I guess we could, but that's the thing. We can't record during this time during Flex because teachers have Flex. So I guess it could just be after school.
Yeah. So unless if we can find a way, the tough part about that is that we'd have to because if we wanted them to come in during Flex, we need to get them a sub. But now we're in the middle of a sub crisis.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a huge sub crisis. I don't know when you're listening to this, but around now, November, it's starting to why so many subs are just disappearing. Yeah. For obvious reasons, just because they're quarantined or stuff's coming up. But yeah, it's really strange. All of a sudden, subs are just dropping.
Yeah.
They're not dying. Don't worry. They're not dying. They're just availability is dropping.
Yeah. Oh, because I don't want to just start some big topic right now because we only have 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I've got the ambition to start a big topic, but also I know that we aren't gonna go for much longer.
That's the weird thing about stuff like podcasts is that you kind of ramp up, but
yeah, we've talked about quite a bit today. What's gonna be probably the most difficult is figuring out how to upload this if our computers don't they won't load it. I don't know. Yeah, it's an hour of audio is a lot. At least it's not an hour of video though. Because I've tried to work with an hour of video and it.
So do people just have really strong computers? Is that what goes on?
I don't know what's up with that. We're seniors. Yeah. A lot of seniors right now are having storage issues, obviously, because we have the most stuff built up in there. It's so tedious to try to clear out all of the stuff that I don't need anymore from freshman and sophomore year. To just go through that. But I got an update on my computer recently, so it should give me a little more space.
Do updates give you space?
Well, no, so update doesn't give me space. I had space already, but it was an update that, I guess, I don't know, something was up with my computer that this update was going to fix. Because I had 12 gigs.
Oh, all right.
But it just wasn't letting me use the 12 gigs. I don't know why. All right, well, we are getting about to the end of this first episode of BeansTalk. We never explained why is it called BeansTalk.
BeansTalk because it's like
There's no reason for the word beanstalk. It's beans talk. I don't know why.
Beanstalks are cool though.
Beanstalks are cool. Beanstalks are interesting.
Yeah.
You can ask Kyle and or Liam
Or me.
or Beans because we really don't know who made the name. Why? I mean, obviously Beans talk. But I don't know if beanstalk, like the word beanstalk, was a inspiration for it or not.
Yeah, it was the word beanstalk, and then I think it was me.
But why?
I made this up.
But why?
You know, who knows?
A beanstalk. It doesn't.
Maybe it's like you're on the ground, you're just a regular person, but you take the beanstalk. You take
that's
it up
definitely.
to the greater ideas.
I think it's just beans talks.
Into the clouds.
Beanstalk.
The
name went through a lot of changes.
The name went through us randomly saying a bunch of names in the middle of macro.
That's changes though.
I guess, but that's not like when Kanye West tells you that he did like 1,000 different versions of this one beat.
He technically did.
Kanye did?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like a lot more work than us saying that we...
It was a lot of work figuring out how to do a podcast.
It was.
There's a lot of work pressing record. You're not even pressing record. You're just the guy, you know.
Yeah, I'm just the guy. That's a great name for what I do.
The guy?
Like the blood packet guy.
See
the play.
Remember Spy Kids?
Spy Kids.
You don't remember the guy?
Wait.
There was a movie where they kept thinking I don't know what his name was, but they kept thinking, "Are you the guy?" No, I'm not the guy.
So which Spy Kids was it?
I don't know. Whoever's listening
Steve Buscemi?
and Steve
in Spy Kids?
Steve Buscemi was in Spy Kids?
Spy Kids too?
No.
He's got a famous
Guys,
quote.
we said we were going to be done, but I got to look at this.
He's got a famous quote from Spy Kids 2 where he's like...
Oh, he is in Spy Kids. That's right. He's that doctor or
He's
whatever.
the scientist. He's got...
I don't think it's that one, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not that one. All right. Then, is it... Because then the third one was the one where they're in the video game.
I think it's that one. Because they're asking, are you the guy?
Oh, yeah. That one has, like, Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
What is...
That one's cool.
That one's weird, yeah, but it's I haven't watched that one so much.
Sylvester Stallone is the bad guy.
Yeah. He's the villain.
All right, we are going to wrap up here with our first episode of BeansTalk, like I was trying to say before, but then we went on a tangent. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay, we hope that whoever's listening kind of enjoyed it in some way.
And we hope that this survived.
We hope that this survived. If this didn't, the first episode that's actually released is going to sound more aggravated than usual because it's going to be like we recorded and there's nothing that's saved. But if this did make it and we did post it and it is on YouTube and people are watching it and listening to it, then great.
Woo!
All right, you wanna they don't end it with a clap, right?
No,
you don't end it with a clap.
Just say so long and good night.
I'll let you say your outro.
My outro? What's the outro? Oh, the thing?
Yeah, I guess you could say that for the outro.
All right.
This is BeansTalk.
Marscola is the man with the brain, and I am the man with no shame, and this is BeansTalk.
Thank you for listening.